Hello and welcome to Quick Take TA here on Landy's Crypto Corner. Today is April 2nd, 2024, and Bitcoin did break down from this consolidation at above $69,000, I should say. It met the criteria of breaking down below this wick low of that consolidation range at around 68,369. Nice. And the conditions of that breakdown and target area was to move down to the $65,000 April of 2021 monthly swing high. We have now seen that. That is also where the daily lower first standard deviation of the Bollinger Bands is. Now, could this continue down further? Absolutely yes. If we do start to see 4-hour closures below $65,000 and the daily lower first standard deviation that then start to close below the local wick lows at around 64,500, then I would be looking for a move to this close open higher low here at around 63,800 to the lower second at around 62.5. Now, if Bitcoin does begin to close below there and lose the wick low from the swing here on the higher low, which is coming in at 62,260, then I would be looking for a move into this monthly closing all-time high zone, with the October of 2021 monthly close coming in at 61,350. And that zone is pretty big, all the way down to 58.8. Now, I know that there's a lot of people looking for the meme pullback, about 20 to 22%. That would put Bitcoin somewhere just below this monthly close at anywhere between $56,000 and $58,000. Now, could Bitcoin do that? Yes, but Bitcoin can only really wick through, otherwise I'm looking lower. Meaning that Bitcoin could wick below this monthly at 58.8 and come right back in and start closing candles, or deviate it ever so slightly and then come back in and start closing candles in this zone between 58.8 and 61,350. But if we do see any daily closes below 58.8, I would be looking lower. I would in fact be looking down to these weeklies here. This September of 2021 weekly swing high around $53,000 to the weekly closes just below at 51.8 and 50,800, possibly even a swing down to $50,000 even. Now, the reason why is because this was the last big consolidation resistance. This has not been tested. And if Bitcoin started to break down from this monthly on a closing basis on the daily and any higher term timeframes, then it would really start to look like Bitcoin would want to come back and test this weekly zone. This was the consolidation prior to the breakout to new all-time highs. So logical area to look. Now, that's all conditional. Bitcoin first would have to break down from $65,000, get expansion below the lower second standard deviation, and then begin to break down from this monthly closing all-time high zone, especially on that 58.8 downside area on a daily close specifically. Now, if Bitcoin is going to move up and recover, we need to see it holding right now around $65,000. Then it gives itself the opportunity to push back up and possibly test the basis band somewhere around 67.5 to 67, looks like 67,650 above there. And I would look to the prior cycle all-time high at $69,000 above there, right up to the upper first, right around the consolidation here at 70,000 to 70,500. Above there, we can start targeting the high side of that consolidation around 71.8 to 72. And then, of course, above there, the upper second standard deviation, which is coming in right around the closing all-time high area at 72,800 to $73,000. If we did start to see Bitcoin closing above that upper second and the all-time high here at 73,800, then I would be looking for a move to the upper third, somewhere around $75,000. Of course, if it did start closing above there, we have our zone that we've talked about previously around $75,000 to $78,000, and then 78 to 80, and then of course 80 to $85,000 or so, roughly somewhere in there. If we did start to see that move occur to the upside, of course, I will update you during the live streams and in a recorded video. Now, there is two other things I want to look at here. Bitcoin has the opportunity to throw some bullish divergence locally if it can put in a low here at around $65,000 or anywhere above that 63,800 close to wick low that was coming in around 62,500 or so, 62,250. If Bitcoin can put in a low above there, we would see a drive of bullish divergence, roughly targeting somewhere around where this simple moving average is. This is a 12-period simple moving average that is currently coming in. Guess where? Right by the upper first standard deviation there at 70,200. So go figure. Now, on the more bearish side of things, if Bitcoin did start to lose this local structure and even pass the low over here, this is the 60,770 dollar range, I believe. That was the dip into that monthly closing zone. If Bitcoin started to break down from there, it would lose its opportunity for local bullish divergence, and we would have to look back here to this this bullish divergence drive, which is coming from that weekly at $50,000 or so. And it could possibly throw bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence in this case, from that $42,000 to $43,000 daily closes. That's all the way back here and back here. So there is two other spots that it could throw bullish divergence. Now, that's only going to become relevant if Bitcoin starts closing below the last two lows. And we do have higher lows in place, so this is looking more like a consolidation structure than not. So just be aware of that. But if Bitcoin does start to break down from $65,000, lose its local wick lows at 64,500, then we do have to entertain the possibility that at least this bullish divergence would be lost. And we would have to look to the next one here into that monthly closing area around 61,350. If it did close above there, reverse, put in a daily low, bullish divergence will populate. Otherwise, we're looking into that zone, and then we have historical bullish divergence that would populate from this low over here, and then the low prior to that at the 42 to 43,000. So one other thing to get through here, let's go ahead and take a look at momentum. It is pointed down on the daily here for Stochh momentum. This is not a Stochh RSI. This is close over close price action momentum. So it's a regular Stochh. And we can see that, guess what? The Stochh would cross back up. Almost made it through without coughing, at around 70,200 to 300 or so. Now, that's not out of the question. Bitcoin could make a move like that during a daily close like that, maybe even today. Who knows? It is very volatile in the longer term timeframes. But as it stands right now, we do see red DMI. We see the red dot of doom up here. So, in general, I'm not concerned about this by any stretch of the imagination. This is all opportunity, in my opinion. Do your own research, not financial advice. Everything can go to zero, yada, yada, yada. But, as long as it's holding $65,000 to that monthly closing zone down below at 58.8 to 61,350, it's all opportunity. Otherwise, that opportunity to get in would be a little bit lower. Yeah, and that's all I've got for you today. I will have a live stream tomorrow. And you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, and evening, no matter where you are in the world. Please trade safe. And of course, as always, stay safe. With all of that said, Landy out.